today. As I said, it's a place in the quarter-finals up for grabs as Ninjas in Pajamas take on Team Solo Mid, and already NIP going to be looking to boost.
Yeah, this is a little bit of a variation. You've seen a lot of teams these days stack over at the B bomb site, play retake at A. That's exactly what NIP's doing, but instead of putting 3 players into B, they boost them up into the vents. But TSM, they're going to be heading over towards A. They're going to take the bait, or not the bait, but they're going to take the risk. They're going to say, you're going to have to retake this bomb site.
Well, flashes down. We saw Forrest connecting a couple of USP shots in there. Actually will get some damage done to him on his own, and that is an early bomb plant here. And there is the first kill coming in. It's Cajun B to take down Forrest, and now the disadvantage in terms of manpower for Ninjas in Pajamas. It'll be a slower push back in here, trying to keep the noise to a minimum as Get Right does manage to bring it back. Looking at grenades, there's nothing to really work with here for NIP, but they're going to swarm Dupree. They get that man. There's a smoke down here on site, and Device and Zipnik's coming in there, but Get Right still alive. But there is Carrigan at the back. They tried to go in straight for the defuse, but it'll be worked out again by Carrigan, and his pistol round going to TSM.
Yeah, a good plan by NIP to retake that bomb site. A nicely placed smoke to block off an avenue of vision for TSM, but TSM bides their time in that bomb site patiently. They wait until all of NIP is in that choke point, in that confined area before striking, and they hold them off. So nice pistol round win from TSM.
We saw those 3 kills coming in. Get Right with the double. I'll actually give them 2 scouts this round, 1 for Exist and 1 for Get Right. And there was a first chance for Exist to land a shot. Sadly for him, didn't quite connect, as the second one also missing there. And TSM not messing around here. They're going to barrel on through into this B side. We see the smokes down to cover there for CT. And that bomb is going to be planted here any second now. And at this point, NIP are locked down.
Yeah, this is something I expected. Obviously going for some spam kills just to be lucky, but they're completely retreating. No chance for a retake. 2 scouts in hands, just pistols, not even armor, and no kit whatsoever. So they're going to save this arsenal for the next round. That's not a bad call whatsoever. And yeah, TSM, that was just no question, no double guessing. Just hit B-bomb, hit the B-bomb site and just get in there.
Well, it's worked out absolutely perfectly for them. We'll be seeing NIP trying to save most of these weapons. We see Get Right there at the truck, just taking a peek through, see if he can get anything on the exit. But just looking at the minimap, it seems like it will be a safe finish to the round here from TSM. Don't want to risk losing specifically those bigger weapons in there, the 3 AKs that they had for that round. And NIP will be able to at least bring, you know, those 2 scouts through, the 5-7 with Forrest, plus his head armor as well.
Right, and it'll be interesting to see if TSM decides to just do another very, very fast commit to a bomb site. That round, it looked like they didn't even want to mess around. They didn't want to have to deal with a scout. They didn't want to get picked off by those pistols, so they just went for it. This time, spreading out a little bit early on. Carrigan throws a smoke. They're going to boost some players up over into mid. And there's a jumping scout behind the smoke that exists. He hasn't been able to find anyone, though.
Let's see. Smoke covering and Exist might have an opportunity here in a second. There he is, and he takes the head off Cajun B as well. And it was all about patience there for Exist. And the opening frag for Ninjas in Pajamas. That's one of those AKs down, which I'm sure they're going to try and reclaim here any second. Well, let's not forget, Dupree also has taken a big hit and he's down to just 23 health. Finally, they will level this one back up, and that was one of the B defenders, which you can see now NIP trying to remedy, bringing everyone over to try and defend this site. We've got Freiburg there, just a P2K in hand, giving literally nothing to work with. Forrest will be burning, and Zipniks are just picking off heads left and right. It leaves Alu and Exist, which honestly against 4, including those 2 AKs, is going to be pretty damn hard work for them. Alu will be making a peek here, but he will be rushed straight down by Carrigan, and Exist, sat on just 34 health, is going to be finished off by Device. 3-0, nice conversion here for TSM.
Yeah, almost a little bit dangerous. That's exactly what they wanted to avoid by going so fast in that first eco, was the fact that Exist gets that pick with the scout, and then they're thinned out a little bit. Then it's an opportunity for a player to come or wrap around from B. Get Right went for that flank, and it didn't work out for him. But those are kind of the dangerous situations that TSM avoided in that second round by going so fast.
Now we see Ninjas in Pajamas with weapons in hand. And this will be the real telltale sign for them. A couple of people, Forrest and Freiburg, not able to get the head armor this time around. No AWPs in there for now either. Obviously, Cajun B did decide to buy that in round number 4. And we see 2 men on top of red box. Well, they've already smoked off main, and that's going to slow TSM down somewhat. They do have the bomb more angled over towards this A-bomb site, but it's a very standard early round start here for TSM.
Yeah, very slow pace, very spread out, not getting caught off guard, waiting for some of these smokes to expire. Kerrigan lining up to flush anyone out of vents that might be in there. Dupree and Cajun B, they're waiting for that smoke to fade over towards B, so when this comes in, if someone is in the vents, they'd be able to spray him down as he falls out the vents, but no one's there for NIP.
Freiburg gonna have a peek. He actually getting flashed the instant that he turns the corner, and that might have worked out nicely for him. He will try and flash over the top to give himself a second chance, and well, he did get a couple of hits off there, but he's come out worse in that scenario, down to just 37 health. There's Get Right just hanging around in middle, trying to get anyone pushing up towards those vents, but they've got 3 men basically defending that B site pretty heavily, and they do lose Get Right, but Forrest in the back of the site will be able to level it up. There is Freiburg going aggressive, almost getting one, but they've got the better of them. 3 men down there for NIP, and it leaves just Exist, who's backed around from this A-bomb site, and will be up against 4. Guaranteed, I mean, given they are 4 of them pretty low here, but still a 1 versus 4 in your first gun round, chances are Exist is going to back away and keep a hold of this M4.
Yeah, good read by NIP. They knew exactly what was coming. Like you said, 3 defenders there. Freiburg even pushed up into an aggressive angle where he had, you know, a great chance to find a couple kills, but none of them could spray any of their opponents on. Forrest gets that initial kill. Alu misses one up top, and now all of a sudden you see Exist just trying to save this weapon, deal some damage if they decide to retreat to this path.
Let's see if they can find him. Debris that comes through first, and he was hopping around, knife in hand. And the last second flash out for Exist. Did actually flash up Zipnik there and almost killed him off with the bomb there. He pushed him back into range. Zipnik surviving it with just 2 HP, and that will ensure that the weapon will be brought through for Exist. So he managed to keep hold of that one. The rest of NIP, though, sadly for them, all sat around about 3k. So we shall be seeing, by the looks of things, a couple of Deagles be bought, but basically it's Exist who's going to have to do some work here. We see there 1 flash, 1 smoke, just to keep Anders happy, basically.
Yeah, right, and that's exactly what I was thinking. Don't want Anders getting mad at you, but this is something they're going to try and find a way to have Exist be the first contact on this defense. Now they've spotted Device boosted up, and you can see going for the reverse boost, but I think Device, he knows that he's just looking up top waiting for it, and he does shoot, but now they know Exist is up there. How aggressive does he want to get? He doesn't want to commit to anything at all, and he falls back. Now this A execute is on. Alu spots him cross into the bomb site, but really no kind of defense you can mount. There's Exist picking one off, rotates back, and finds one.
Realistically, he needs to pick up 2 or 3 kills, and maybe even at this point hand that weapon off. He's only got 14 HP to work with. Some big flashes towards mid. There's not a kit here, so time is not exactly on the NIP side, and 1 by 1 here they're going to be picked off by Device, who comes around the backside of them, and that will be an easy finisher to the round for TSM, going 5-0, exactly the opposite of their start against Renegades earlier, funnily enough.
And now they've built, I mean, look at the bank that they have built up as well behind the Zipniks with 10,000, Device with 12,000. They just have so much money, so this is a crucial round. Alu does have the AWP this time. They actually, much like Dust 2, they switch it up. They go for a double op setup. Forrest and Alu. Forrest headed over towards the B bomb site. Alu at A. This is going to give them the opportunity to put a lot of pressure on mid if they choose to.
Let's see how they decide to play this one. Forrest on upper there. Smoked off fairly early though, so not really a lot to see, but he has switched around now to join his teammate there in checkers, but the smoke making sure there's no freely available shot to him just yet. And we'll play this quite defensive. There's his angle though, down towards Toxic, and will manage to pick up Cajun B. So nice little start with this double up defense, and that's going to leave TSM with a few questions. Is there just that single up in there as Alu bought the second one? Well, they're probably going to find out at some point during this round. It looks like that bomb will be pushing over towards the A site eventually. We still don't have 1 minute of this round to go, so nothing a given just yet, especially once Alu sounds off that AWP over by 8. It might make TSM think twice.
Right, interesting. He's not holding an angle, Alu, over towards A that would peek into A main. He's watching towards mid. There's Exist playing at the forklift. Gets initially blind, but this is going to be Looks they're trying to sell this hit onto A. All the meanwhile, they've boosted some players over mid, so this hit is actually rotating back towards the B bomb site. 3 players at NIP are pretty committed at A. It's going to be up to Freiburg and Forrest to hold this one down.
Let's see what they do. We're going to see smokes covering up from CT. Forrest going to get a shot off there. Freiburg picks it up. A second for Forrest and a second for Freiburg. Teaming up brilliantly here, and Forrest will win the round for them. Well, basically a 2-man defense here on that B side. Really coming up big for Ninjas in Pajamas in a round where they really needed it. A big investment with those double AWPs, and they get their first round on the board.
Right, but crucially, TSM still has not found out that this double op setup is happening, because they haven't seen Alu. Alu hasn't fired a shot quite yet, so they don't know that it's there. Importantly as well, that opening pick by Forrest came into play so much, because once that fake went out on the A bomb site, they didn't have to rotate anyone from B. They felt very confident with the man advantage with the personnel they had at each bomb site.
And we'll see the device being boosted up here. And there is one in middle, but not showing himself there. Was Get Right, who did just hop a little bit around the corner. His device had just peeked away just in time. As you see there, Forrest will be flashed and mollied from the start of things. Once again, he has Freiburg to give him the backup, and they've smoked off both entrances there directly to Checkers into main as well. And that will mean that TSM have no opening there for now. But Device still holding middle. They've boosted Carrigan over the top as well.
There's a lot of space for TSM to work in mid, because it's just Get Right playing it very, very passively. I'm not even sure he knows that Kerrigan's there. Meanwhile, Dupree takes out Freiburg over at the B bomb site, so Forrest is about to be under a lot of pressure.
There's a flash coming in. Second one will come in as well. There's the all being fired up by Forrest. He'll hit that second shot, and he'll be headshot down there by Zipnix. And that is already just Exist left alive. That's an easy spray down onto Carrigan, who was fairly low health. But once again, Exist will be all alone, 1 versus 4. We'll try and keep this AWP and make things a little more expensive for TSM as things go on. But he's going to be pushed from main here. Device will be there. Second man will join him. Oh, I was going to say, he's just seen him there. Exist missing the shot, though, and they now know his exact position. TSM going to come swarming into this one. There's still a good few seconds until that bomb explodes. Here is Dupree's going to try a bit of a cheeky move up on top of red box, and that will be an easy kill for him. Exist was looking off towards CT, and that's bad news for NIP. Win the round, lose the one following. It's 6-1 to TSM.
Yeah, so the economy gets reset. They might try and force by here. They did have all 5 members stay alive on that round they won, so it's not as crushing a blow, but you can see the buy is very, very weak. Freiburg has the kit, but you see 2 Famas out, even the Mag 7 on Alu. The real dangerous part about that round is Kerrigan was, now that TSM knows that defense in mid was so incredibly weak with just Get Right there, Kerrigan knows he's got space to work with, and he was effective that round, getting 2 kills. All the pressure was being put onto the B bomb site. Meanwhile, TSM players just win duels on the other side of the map and just crush NIP.
Zipnix, wow. As you do, through the door, onto the head of Exist, who's probably just like, well, what should I do from this point? Different position maybe, next round. As Freiburg, I don't think he quite caught sight of Cajun B there. He was still just behind the wall, but TSM starting off once again. 1 man to the gut. There's the spot onto Forrest. They're both flashed in there. And Cajun B playing with absolute confidence over towards this B-bomb site. There's already a smoke down, so he doesn't need to lose his second. There he's out close by the door. Zipnix will get the better of him as well, and it's now Get Right here on this A-bomb site. You can see him keeping turn to turn those flashes, and now he's going to push in there. Smoke, I think he was spotted just on the edge of it, but they may have just lost tabs with him here, and will get a couple of shots up onto him. But Get Right, I think himself a little bit lost there inside of the smoke, and now Device, only 7 HP remaining here, all up close and personal. Can he land the shot? No, he'll be pushed down, and it's a 1 versus 2. We've seen Freiburg going big in their first game of the day. Can he do it here as well against TSM? 1 man at main, 1 man just behind him. He's going to have to switch out to the pistol, and Zipnix will be able to convert that one into victory. Bit of a ropey finish to the round there for TSM. Nice little try from the Ninjas, but that is going to mean TSM going 7-1 up, and it also means that NIP are going to have to be on the eco.
Yes, now that's crushing. Down 7-1 on the save round. Freiburg almost able to pull that out. He actually did some very good work at trying to find that one-on-one, finding it in A main eventually, baiting that player to swing out wide. But TSM's so good in those situations, holding onto a bomb site. Such smart plays from their individuals. Now heading over towards B, very quick, very aggressively once again. They've act 10 of Kerrigan doing some damage, and there's the nade. Cleans him up, one player over at headshot. That's Forrest. He wins that duel, but what else can he do from here?
Likely not a lot, I think. Obviously, not exactly the strongest of rounds from NIP equipment-wise, so not that we're expecting much more from this one. Just Alu and Exist actually left alive from this, and they will look to pick up a couple of cheeky weapons on the way out, but I don't think TSM all that desperate to be chasing them down at this stage of things. That bomb, of course, will be exploding. This will be a TSM round, putting them up to 8-1 from the T side of Cash. Certainly a lovely little start for them.
Yeah, they're going to be happy with it. The thing is, Nip's got to do something to change, really the tone, the pace that they're working with. Nice shot from Exist there at the end, but I mean, they need to get aggressive somewhere. They need to grab an early lead. That round they won, Forrest finds the opening pick with the AWP. They need to have more of that, and it's not going to come. If it's not going to come from an AWP because of the money situation, where's the aggression going to come from out of Nip to gain some kind of advantage, to gain the intel and fall back and use that to their advantage?
That's a very good question, and the fact is that, as you said, there is not enough cash for one, never mind the 2 AWPs that they needed to win that single round that they have to their name so far. If you look at the board there, Alu sat 0-0-6. He's almost a finished James Bond at this point, which is not a good thing overall. There is Get Right, though, finally getting the kill. And was a little bit different this time around with the boost in middle to give him sight over the top of the smoke. So NIP will open up the fragging, but they've basically lost control of the entire mid-area device. He's going to sneak all the way on through, which means that Get Right's position is all but worthless at that point.
Yeah, I was wondering where the aggression was going to come from Nip to gain that advantage. They do a boost over that smoke, and then they just abandon middle completely. So Device has that advanced position. When is that going to come into play? He's going to be patient. He's going to try and outlurk Get Right, try and open something up for his team, but Freiburg position underneath the vents. And TSM just waiting. They have a minute on the clock, and despite being a man down with Device in this spot, they can let him try and find something. They can let him be patient because he has such good control.
There's the push through from Dupree, and Freiburg started the spray off, and Dupree basically one-taps him to get the kill. There he's Forrest, doubles up for him as he gets one inside the checkers. Get Right on Alu will actually combine here to finish off the round, and well, TSM thought they got the better positioning there as they got that middle area after Get Right backed away, and they pushed through vents as well, but they felt like dominoes.
Yeah, well, Forrest bails him out of that round with those 2 kills, quick kills as well. He's able to transfer over to a second player, but that first kill onto Freiburg is what I thought was going to sell it with Device. That's when the rotation is forced out of NIP. That's when Device in that position could hear them rotating over towards B and pounce, but with Forrest getting those 2 kills, he was forced into a play he didn't want to make.
Looks like a slower start here again for TSM, and honestly, their entire early round strategy has not really changed up this entire time. And a couple looking over towards A, a couple having a peek in towards B main and over towards checkers as well, and it's been working out for them. Already 8-2 up here. I think they've decided to leave middle a little bit more alone this time. Only Device will be looking from boost into that one, but he's only got 1 health there.
A lot of damage has been dealt by NIP, softening up a couple players. Dupree down to 52 as well. So despite the slow start that TSM's been doing this whole half, I mean, why switch what's been working for you? You're up 8-2, so there's NIP finding a way to deal damage anyway.
And again, running down to less than 1 minute in this round. They've been unable to find any kind of opening across the map, and it looks like they will now move over towards his A side. The early one coming in. There's a flash into main for Exist. He got the 1 kill. They know the bomb's in there now as well, but there's a spray again through the doors for Zipnix. 2 men very low here for TSM. That's Kerrigan down as well. Forrest only got 20 health of his own, but here comes Get Right around the side. It's now a 2 versus 2, and only 17 seconds. That bomb needs to get planted here quickly for TSM, especially as Get Right gonna have a position up high as he hops over onto Red Box. Zipnix is trying to plant. Get Right will kill him off. They still have 1 tucked away, but Get Right will get it. He came to the 1 versus 1 there right at the very end, but the time just too far gone then for TSM.
Yeah, beautiful plays. Exist pushing into A main, getting the intel, and also when the rotations come in, Forrest pushes right through that smoke, finds a kill, delays that take a little bit longer. So as that clock runs down, you know, the TSM options were just slowly dwindling, and Get Right with the big play, jumping up onto the box. So 3 rounds for them, and they've finally gotten the economy of TSM to the point where they can break it and force them onto some ecos if they win this round.
Yeah, only a Tech-9 yet for occasion. But a standard early start coming out nonetheless. This time a bit more aggression from Allen. Misses the shot though. There is a follow-up. Freiburg will lose out. And that was Cajun. We were talking about that Tech-9. And he's the one that ends up coming up big to open up the round. It's funny how that works sometimes. Tech-9 going in there thinking, okay, I'm the soft man here. I can just go in there and see what I can find. End up coming out with a kill against 2 men. And NIP down to just 4. And was Alu missing the shot over towards Boost. You see there Forrest boosted on top of Exist head, so they've got vision of main. And that was oh wow, that was a free shot for Ali. He'd actually zoomed in a little touch early up towards the Boost. And he was just coming straight through that main entry. Here we go, the push coming in on towards A. It will be a bit of an exchange there, but it will be TSM coming out on top of it. Bomb will get planted here shortly, and there was Get Right trying to come over from B, but they were quicker to the mark there. Dupree had already pushed all the way through to Car. Yeah, it's stemming down to NIP. No real mid presence. It's been Get Right playing in that spot, and then Alu rotates over there with the op that round from the same exact spot, so they really don't have any kind of aggression. This is a map when you control mid as CTs, you can rotate places so fast. You can flank quickly, so incredibly quick, or so fast, but TSM not, Nip not taking it when it's given to him, and TSM's just exploiting that fact now. What do you think to that whole almost abandon? I asked that question, NIP are going to send men over towards mid on the eco, but what do you think to that whole idea of just give middle up and defend it from the almost deepest point?
It's a place. What a shot. No scope, and he's going to clean some things up with that Tech-9, so there goes Exist and Alu. Just Forrest finds a kill, but it can work. It can be effective if you play right, but when you play it every single round, now that TSM has caught onto that fact.
It's 3 versus 2 here as well. This anti-eco not really going as planned for TSM. But we'll see. Freiburg still only got his P250. There is the AK in the hands of, well, was Forrest and also was Freiburg. That one ended a lot faster than expected, but it's double figures for TSM. Just a couple rounds to go. We'll see NIP here picking up more weapons, but again, not exactly a full loadout for them. They have had economic issues this entire half so far. They have not been able to stabilize that economy between getting it reset earlier on. That double scout buy early on really hurt them in the 4th round as well. So not able to buy the utility that they want, or even the weapons they want. They have another Mag 7, another FAMAS on Alu. So really struggling to put a good arsenal together. They need to do something a little bit cheeky here. There was Get Right spotting Device, but not doing masses of damage to him. And Device will simply sit back here, wait for any possible boost. Or in fact, just molly that position out, and that means that Get Right might have to change his position somewhat. He is burning away there on the edge. I think he miscalculated his position in there. He couldn't push out towards the main because, well, there was a man in there. He'd heard him running anyway, so left in a hard place, and he's going to be burnt down. 2 mollies used there for the single kill onto Get Right. They'll be happy with that one. It was, of course, just the Mag 7, as Cajun does get spotted out there by Freiburg. But he has been playing this position pretty much every early round, causing 2 men to be pulled away. There we see Exist gonna be boosted up. Will that be a position to stop the push here from TSM? He's completely blind, but they've not checked it. They've not checked his position, and he gets 2 before finally being dealt with there by Zipnix. We've got Forrest here on top of the box, but it's 2 versus 3, and the bomb will be planted by Zipnix. And that makes this one all the more difficult. Smoke is down, but Forrest still has a line of sight to Zipnix if he decided to push. He didn't, and now it becomes a lot more difficult. A deep defense here from TSM. Asian B will spray down 1. Freiburg, the last man remaining for NIP, and Carrigan was hot in the corner to finish off that one. And again, TSM coming in. I thought it was going to go a lot worse when we saw Exist up on that box. He got 2, but still not enough for NIP.
Right, and that's the danger at TSM when they get into these bomb sites. Said it a couple times, they're so good. Forrest and Freiburg setting up to try and catch, in that 2-on-3, try and catch someone peeking, trying to catch someone overextending, and TSM just doesn't give it up. They had those 3 players set up perfectly to cover each other. One player named Main watching for that jump on top of the boxes. So if you're NIP, the fact that they get into these bomb sites is just so scary from there. Now, look at this. The first time they're going to change the pace. They're going to hit A very, very quickly.
Smokes are already in. There is one stopping them from main, but I don't think they care too much about that one. They're going to go straight out onto the site. Alu will get Carrigan, but he's quickly dealt with, and they can get the bomb straight down in position with Cajun B. Freiburg will come around the back, though, so they at least have weapons and actually have the health advantage at this point as well. The question is, can they find the men and land the shot? Forrest still dropped down quickly from up high and finds the pre there in the corner. As we're down now to a 2-on-2. Molly coming in. There's the peek around from Exist. Forrest will burn down Cajun B. And we're into a 1 versus 1 here in the final round of this first half. There's a peek from Zipnix, and he'll get the better of Forrest. And it's 12-3 at the half-time. Zipnix there, top of the scoreboard. Also, I have to point out at this stage, Alu having a horrible time of things, really. Only hit 2 kills there from the first 15 rounds.
Yeah, and you see that from time to time. That's just that's how bad their money has been this whole half. TSM's had complete control of it. Alu being the opper, he's only been able to afford.
You know, he didn't have much of a chance playing that very deep mid-roll. You know, there's not much really to be done in his scenario. He's got 7 kills from that first half, but it was basically always on a retake that he was getting those kills.
Yep. Or yeah, that's exactly, you're exactly right. And I mean, TSM just, that spread out default they did throughout that whole half, found them picks, it found them entries. I mean, that one round they used 2 Molotovs just to get right, and they take that 5-on-4 advantage. One of the better teams at playing with the man advantage. They just do the stranglehold. When they get those kills, they have a minute left in the round and a 5-on-4. They're going to exploit something. It's going to happen. And NIP didn't show any kind of desire to try and get aggressive in a situation in the mid-round, to find some information or to get some kills and try and equalize.
There wasn't really much of a change at all from NIP, you know. Falling behind, you expect that, all right, we have to do something a little bit different here. That's the only way that we may be able to get back in this game, and in the end there was literally no real change. The boost from Get Right in mid was about as fancy of a change we saw there from NIP on CT, but we are into the second half here. 12-3, of course, the lead for TSM, moving on to CT side, and it's looking like it will be a big A push here for the Ninjas in Pajamas. Smoke's coming through, Flashes will be joining there as well. Exist actually getting blinded, but they will get the push through. There is Device getting one. Can he find through? Alu is coming through in there. It is Get Right that joins in, but Zipnix on the backside as well, doing well. There's a man at Forklift who will rip them even further down, and now just Freiburg and Get Right. There is Get Right down. Freiburg will follow, and TSM pick up the pistol and go 13-3, and quite possibly sewing the game up right there.
Yeah, very, very possibly. Device with that positioning he has, he only gets 1 kill, but they're forced to deal with them. They devote 2 more players after that initial kill to clean him out of that spot, and it allows rotations to come in for TSM. NIP couldn't even get into the bomb site to get the bomb plant to get that $800. So now they're forced. They have no head armor on 3 players. They have the Tech 9s, the P250s, and a full buy. So this is them saying that we need to win a round right now.
And we see already Carrigan pushed up further than I think Get Right was the entire of that first half. trying to hold that mid, so exactly as we probably expected from this one. It will be, as you can see there from the top-down view, a push again onto this A-bomb site for NIP, but honestly, they're going to get ripped to shreds from this one. Zipnix and Carrigan going to just combine here for the first couple of kills. Device will now chime in as well. Should be an easy finisher there with the UMP. Carrigan's there as well, and an easy conversion really. Did manage to get the one kill onto Zipnix, but again, no bomb plan for Ninjas in Pajamas, and they're all sat around about 2k, and this is surely going to be game point for TSM unless NIP do something incredibly strong.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that they're not force buying here. Why not, if you're going to save this round, why not save last round and bring some Galils or some AK-47s into the party on the third round here? But either way, they're going to let TSM have a great advantage to get up towards match point already.
And commotion going on, and just looking over here towards Envy, I think they've just won their game over against Luminosity, but either way, the push through middle from NIP is going to be absolutely destroyed as it comes through. The nade from Device finishes off, and that is game point, quarter-final point here really for TSM, which will of course put them into the matches in the Lanxess Arena on Saturday. Also give them, you know, legend status moving forward as well, which is
next major.
Massive thing for these teams as well. NIP need 12 rounds in a row to push us through then into an overtime. Of course, buying up everything they can here. There'll be no AWPs, AKs across the board for them. And this is where it's going to be interesting to see mid control. It's two men there. Device is going to be up on top of the box, and well, Carrigan watching it with his AWP as well. So already a much heavier focus on that area of the map from TSM.
Yeah, now even shifting a little bit, giving it up, and now Carrigan rotating over towards A with that op, and they've left Dupree over in B. He's got the other AWP, and that's going to allow this defense to be very mobile in mid, and Zipnix gets a little bit of intel. Now falls back and he switches spots with Carrigan. Beautifully done, because Forrest was expecting a Colt. He was expecting the M4, not the AWP, and Carrigan cleans one up. Now they can fall back and be very confident. A 5-on-4. 4 members over towards A though, and now they're rotating back.
Yeah, Carrigan pushing back to cover outside. He actually just clipped Get right there, right through the smoke, down to 15 or 16 if my eyes would work. And not looking good here for NIP to hold on to this game. Device gonna hear some footsteps there by A. We'll put flash off, and again we do see a push through finally from middle. It'll be Alu that gets that one, but Device, Zipnix both combining. Alu's only got 12 HP, he's burning, and is eventually finished off there by Device. And that was, well, quite frankly, a simple win from TSM.